all weekend.
So, well, let's talk about your weekend though. Like, tell me about the house. Like, how was it? Like, was it everything you thought it was going to be?
Actually, it was everything plus.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought it was going to be a little rougher than that because it wasn't that expensive of a house to get to begin with.
Right.
But the fishing and the crabbing, unbelievable because you have so much area there. Now, we didn't catch as many fish as we wanted to, but there still was a fair amount. That house was haunted, dude.
Really?
It's from the 1800s.
Well, that's old.
Oh, it's old. I mean, you could tell by the floor. The floor was like uneven and
How about
stuff.
the doors? They
Was
have
it an
all
old
old
lighthouse?
doors still?
Sorry.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
front door. Kevin, you would appreciate it because
Yeah.
you're tall as shit. But it's the highest door I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, what was there, giants living in this
How
house?
about the
Taller
shower
building?
heads? Shower heads are important to me.
Shower head, like it was okay. The water was terrible.
Ah, see.
I mean, terrible. It's like our water here without a water system.
Oh, that's all
So
right.
my water.
Yeah, it's
really
fine.
irony. You smell it. It's terrible. I mean,
You
really
can smell
bad.
my irony, but it stains like the sinks and the.
Yeah, that same thing with there. It
Yeah.
stains there. No, you can smell this water.
Yeah, you can smell.
You can
mine.
taste it when you brush your teeth
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
I
it was
got that
nasty
back.
water.
Imagine how deep they needed to drill that well.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
but
That's a great question. I wonder how deep it had to be.
they had the 5-gallon jug water thing for you
Drink.
to use for
Oh, that's
coffee and
nice.
stuff like that. So yeah, it was good.
it's perfect.
I would recommend if you like fishing or crabbing. No pool naturally. If you want to jump into the water, that's fine. But it's like
Try water.
if you like that kind of thing, I would definitely. But expect to hear freaking noises.
Like, what do you mean by?
Well, you had
hold
me
on,
until
hold on.
you tell me it's haunted.
Yeah, you said haunted. So what do you mean by haunted? Like,
No.
why do you think it was haunted?
I didn't feel anything like you know how like sometimes you feel like creeped out or like evil something.
Yeah, the vibe.
Didn't feel like that. It kind of just felt like when I was sleeping, for instance, I always heard somebody walking up and down the steps constantly
That's creepy.
the whole week.
Two-level house.
What?
I didn't know it was
Oh yeah,
two-story
yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah. And me and Diana slept on the top floor, so I would constantly like. First, I thought it was Jeff coming up to mess with me or
Yeah, or
something.
Terry.
Yeah. But the last night, oh my gosh, and the night before, all I heard was somebody walking up and down. Like it was almost sounding like in the walls.
Right. Ew.
Like you could just hear.
So you can hear the steps, not just like the floor creaking. You can hear the steps.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's creepy.
That is weird. That would freak me out.
It was really weird.
That would freak me out.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah,
But then-
that would fuck
but
me
see,
I
out.
mean, it's not like an old lighthouse or something. It doesn't. Like,
Nah.
what's the history? How
Nah.
old is this place?
The history of it is that the original owner had a terrapin. You know what terrapin turtles are?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had that, and then he was selling them.
So
Terrapin
you
turtles.
catch them and
From
sell them there.
that location.
Yeah, he had like a little farm, like he
Right.
had a dock over there on the side where I guess that's where they kept all the turtles, and he sold them for turtle soup. So he was
Oh.
there, but then there was this other story about
never had
this
turtle
this
soup.
woman who got
Snapper.
shipwrecked there, and she was there for a while, and I forget what her name was. It was weird, and you know, Robin, Jeff's sister, she's into this stuff.
Yeah.
So she brought all of her equipment out there.
nuh-uh.
She had the ghost box. You know,
Did
the
she
spirit
really?
Box. She had that.
That's-
She had this other thing that's an app on her thing, but it goes in airplane mode, and supposedly that's how it proves that it's a blah blah blah. She had this other thing that lights up if a spirit touches it or goes near it. Yeah, she has a lot of stuff.
You're inviting the spirits to come there. It might not
I
have been there.
wasn't. I didn't even want to be part of it, but Terry wanted to get into it, so they did it one night
She's
there.
very into that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like, I get being into it, but then if you know, I mean, why involve that? Like, just let it be what it is. You're there for what, 5 days?
Especially in a
I didn't
house
wanna be
that's
part of
That
not
old?
yours.
I didn't want to be part of
Yeah,
it.
you don't know what you're like.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle's house is
Yeah, you're
built
messing with.
1800s.
But I felt more evil stuff in my house than I did there, though.
So you didn't. It
I
was
felt
never
calm.
uneasy.
Maybe it wasn't evil
Yeah.
though.
So what do they call that? It's like a residual.
A poltergeist?
No, there's like in
Like
hauntings. There's
but it's just-
that's more residual.
it's like Casper
it's like
the
a
Friendly Ghost?
it's like a spirit trapped in time.
Yeah.
Like they just keep doing the same thing. They're in a loop.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see
so-
what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a
like, you
the
don't
residual
call it-
haunting.
Yes, so he knows
Yeah,
way more than I know
exactly.
about it.
I was in a residual haunting. You left me hanging.
Yes.
Still leave me hanging.
So when she had this thing out, this app that you can speak to the spirits or whatever, and they respond through this. Even though the spirit box didn't do hardly anything at all that she had.
So did you guys sit there? Wait, no, hold on. Let me ask you guys a
Right.
question. So you're there hanging out. you're fishing, you're having dinner, and was she like, hey, I have a great idea tonight, guys. Instead of playing Scrabble, let's sit around the table and talk to spirits. Is that how it kind of went?
She picked the house?
Pretty much.
Was
We did.
Is that how it went though?
I didn't know that it, I wasn't even thinking about like, the age of it and the history of it. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking,
it's on the water.
It's on the water. I can fish. There ain't nobody around. Gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it's still that first night.
It's like Eddie Murphy on that thing. It's a beautiful house. It looked like, look, you got the chandelier, you got this, you got that. You're like, get out. Well, too bad we can't stay. It was like that.
Mr. Marbles?
But it was like that. It's like I didn't even think about that stuff. All I'm thinking of is fish and crab.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some lunkers. Catch a stripers, flounders.
Good time. Right
something,
there
or just hang out fishing and then just eat whatever you eat. So, how many nights did you do this like whole debauchery type thing? Not debauchery. What's the word I'm thinking of? Seance.
The seance only happened one night. We only did that one night.
That's crazy. You probably opened Pandora's box though.
It sucks for the next tenant.
Nothing was really bad except for this one thing.
Yeah, there you go there, but all right, bad Yelp review.
Joe, this one thing
went down.
freaked the crap out of me because it's like she would ask the questions and you would hear some like, like, oh yes you would. Oh yeah, Terry was videotaping. Her camera turned off while she was doing it. Chris scared the crap out of us because we're walking through the house doing this video when Terry was doing it, and all of a sudden we're just like going to go into the room where this one lady, this is where she always stayed, the one that I said was shipwrecked.
How do you know all of this?
There's a book of history on it, right? So we go into the bedroom. Well, here Chris was right behind the door, scared the crap out of us.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, this happened, and all of a sudden it's like after that she's doing her different things. The spirit box.
What night is this?
Saturday. It's gotta be Saturday.
It was one of the last couple nights.
Okay, one of the first nights.
No, it wasn't the first night. No. However, I had already heard because I had thought that Jeff, like I said, walked up the steps.
All weekend.
But we locked our door every night so that Jeff couldn't do any crap to us because I was expecting.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, I would too. I would do it too.
Yeah. So long story short, this thing that she has says all kinds of stuff. Now, sometimes it said stuff that you couldn't even, actually, 90% of the time, you couldn't even understand
what it was saying. It's like a different spirit box than what you have.
Yeah, this is an app on her...
but you heard it say something?
Oh, there's some times where it would say sentences, but you couldn't make it out because I swear, every time it was saying that, Robin was asking a question, and in the middle of it, he's saying, and she didn't shut up. Excuse me. She didn't shut up so we could hear it.
Maybe she was in a different country. She got shipwrecked. Who knows?
No. This was a man's voice.
Oh, wasn't the lady that was shipwrecked?
Yeah, you could actually hear the difference between a man's voice and a woman's voice on this.
That's
weird.
That would bug me out.
Now, what was really weird, at the end of it all, Jeff says a joke, and it laughed.
No, that would bug me out.
It laughed. Oh well, there's things that went on there that bugged me out way before.
But nothing like where you were scared.
No, there was nothing like we're going to hurt you. We're going to do anything to you.
So that's kind of.
It was freaky laughing stuff, but it was
Did
like
you do this
nothing
outside or in the house?
In the house.
In the house.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of goes at the Sergeant Inn, right? That kind of goes that you've heard the rumors of that.
They talk about people walking up and down the steps.
Right, but it's all mischievous, or it's just them making their presence known.
It's real.
But not. Oh yeah.
You worked there?
I had 2 encounters.
No way.
Yep.
How are we just finding this out now?
It was my first job when I was 16.
We wash the dishes?
I started as a dishwasher, and then I was a busboy.
Bad boy, moved up.
Yeah. Well, busboys got tips.
So you would hear different.
No, so as when I got dishwasher, I never heard a bunch. Then when I got switched to busboy, you would have to, like on New Year's Eve, you would have to do all the close downs. So I had to go around. There's different rooms, like there's the Washington room, the Lincoln, and all that.
And that's from like the 1700s, right?
George Washington stayed there in the inn.
Yeah,
upstairs.
So it's from the 1700s.
Yeah, it's old as hell.
So I had to go up. I'm like 16 at this point, and I had to shut down all the lights upstairs by myself.
Did you run downstairs after?
Oh, did I run? I'm like lucky I didn't like tumble over, but a chair like went.
Oh, I'd have been out. Yeah. I'm out.
After I'd pushed them all in, shut the light out, and I'd already like been freaking out a little bit. Like
it's late.
Yeah,
it's dark. I'm by myself.
And then the second time was probably I was about 18, and I was at the light at Anderson's.
Right.
You worked there for a long time. You're 18 then?
No, this was coming home one night, like 1 in the morning.
Oh, so you
I'm
weren't
waiting to make
working
the left on Parvin's
Tell me a
Mill.
light didn't come on or
And I
something.
looked upstairs, and there was a face in that
In the
one
window?
window. And
I
I
knew
was
exactly what
like,
you're talking
I ran the light. I ran the light. I was like,
There's a
screw
light there
this.
when you're 18?
Huh?
There's light there when you're 18? I didn't light it was there
light?
until you were like later.
Yeah,
that light was
No,
there.
it was a stop sign.
That was after. Yeah.
Are you sure it was a stop
Yeah,
sign
the
back
carriage
then?
house was still there. I used to go to the carriage house.
No, I remember the carriages, but I'm saying, was there that street light that you
That
put
light,
in?
no, that light's been there for
It's been a
quite some
long
time. Actually, a lot
time.
longer
I
than you
remember-
think.
The turn
I
A's
remember-
one was the last one put in, right?
Yeah.
That was later on.
I
in life.
remember getting annoyed because I couldn't make the right to go to Shallock. I'd have to sit there and wait for the light
Yeah,
to
it
change.
Yeah, that light. That's the thing. That light is a lot longer than because I know that it
takes
was a
forever.
stop sign a long
And
time
the no
ago.
turn on
They
red
put
when you
that
can
stop-
clearly turn
Oh,
on
yeah.
red.
Yeah.
That pisses
Well, no,
me
it
off.
says stop
I
here,
can
man.
clearly turn on red. Why can't I turn?
Well,
Why
now
no
it
turn?
says now
No
it
turn.
says
Yeah, why no turn?
Why
now
no
it
turn?
says stop here in red.
Anyhow,
You
that
can
was
turn
my
there
two
now.
encounters with that.
Well,
Sorry,
hold
I
on.
got sidetracked.
No, it's fine though. But
Squirrel.
I'm curious about this. So
I'd have gave my 2 weeks. I would have gave my 1 day notice.
Yeah,
that light at turn A's was the second one then, right? That one was the later one.
yeah. I'm gonna
Because
say
that was later on. Maybe that one, because I never ventured that way.
it was easily by 98, 99.
That's
That
crazy.
light was
Yeah.
on.
I didn't make sense though, because I was out of high school at that
Yeah,
point.
it's a lot longer than you think. That
Well,
light.
I mean, high school was a lot longer than I thought.
You're older.
What was that?